Well, to compare back when I read episode 4 of Agito. Yep, almost done. This is a great episode to focus on Shoichi's dynamic with his powers. It's basically, he's still his conscience is still coming around to actually officially using it on his own. Actually, not switching gears, like actually him using it. Not with this Agito personality. So let's get into it. After a brief recap, we continue where we left off. The unknown's escape. The unknown's escape causing so Agito dehensions and sees Mana. She runs away. You know, none of this happened. And Ocho basically is still a dick. That's the guy from before. He's a dick because he's jealous that he wasn't picked to be part of to use the GP system. But there's a reason why specific people are picked for it. I know Hikawa was picked because he was a kind person. If he wasn't picked, he wouldn't be jealous. Unlike Hojo, who's a prick. And basically he basically says that he's useless. He's just not fit for it. Gosh. Because this is going to be down for a bit. I forgot to mention this, but in the last episode, and a bit, I forgot about it till now. The final dial has been twisted. Open us with Stevie's puzzle being DNA structures. But supposedly it didn't exist over 30,000 years ago. Anyway, before that, Hikawa's feeling down. But actually, he has told him that if his words are true, don't let it get to him. You shouldn't let those words get to him. Oh. It's not how you fail, you can still pick it. Even if you fall, you can pick yourself back up. Hikawa has proven himself to be a perfect match for the system. Even though he kind of gets his ass handed to him most of the time. He only got a slight victory this episode, but only thanks to Agito. But again, we see him growing as a Kamen Rider in his own way. So, after that, his boss tells him to go over to Yoshihiko's house tomorrow. Oh, yeah. No. No. Mana finds out that Shoichi's gone. He ran out. He ran away. Still feeling about what happened last episode. Oh yeah. Well, Hikawa ends up writing up the DNA structure. The scientists are doing their best to work out things. And the scientists has a good point. Discover something impossible. When discover something impossible, don't limit your mind to what we know. Don't limit your mind to what we know. Expand it. Expand the knowledge. And it is a good point she makes. It's a good point she makes. Because if we just discover a lot of modern sensibility, add a lot of modern sensibilities to discoveries, anything being searched for, our mindset will be limited by that. So by not limited by those standards, you can have whole kinds of possibilities. I discover many different things. It's how discoveries will work. Some, well, it's unintentional, not accidental. Oh. Anyway, Shoichi does return. He and I have a bit of a talk. Shoichi doesn't know, Reals, he doesn't know what's going on with powers and stuff. But all he knows is that he needs to fight those to protect others' happiness. Protect what's people to them. So Mama tells him he's still free to stay here. She's not afraid. She probably just run off yesterday. She was just surprised. She's not afraid. And I really like Mana more and more. She was weird in the first episode, but I started to like her a lot more now. Didn't hate her. I just couldn't connect to her at first. But I learned more and more about her character. I really like her. She's really a great character. She's a high school student though. So I think Shoichi's older than her. He's like, how old is Shoichi? How old do you need to be a Kamen Rider anyway? Takeshi Hongo was actually a full-fledged adult in his 20s. He was an adult in his 20s, but not early 20s. So, I don't know. I don't know the actual age for a Kamen Rider. Because these days, a lot of them be depicted young. At least young adults. No, we haven't had a mid to late 20s Kamen Rider in years. I know, the Amazon show does not count because it's not canon. It's its own continuity. Amazon. The only Kamen Rider never say henshin. No joke, he's the only Kamen Rider never say henshin. Very fascinating. Maybe that's why it was so different because it only lasted over 20 episodes. So some seasons have. No, there has been one short season before, but that might be due to Kamen Rider, like. But that might be due to budgetary reasons. I don't know. Amazon is shorter because it wasn't that popular. Ratings did not go well. Similar to that of Jack Den Geek Tai. Or Jacka. Jacka! Sorry. Anyway, he comes here. Ask him, just want to keep options open for now. Just in case they keep actual abilities on the table. That's why he's come to Yoshihiko. And this is the first time two of our riders meet each other. Shoichi and Mikikawa's first proper interaction. Because don't forget, the only times they met is Agito and G3. This is the first genuine interaction between the two characters. And this is in episode 4. It doesn't feel like modern Kamen Rider. At least early on. At least early on in Phase 1, it doesn't feel like the Kamen Rider we know today. Because that feels more like Super Sentai in a way. But still distinct, I'm just saying. It just feels different at the time, not just because of different camera techniques. Surely the other one is not. Surely the other one is not. Noticed it? Anyway. I've not mentioned this in episode 1, but Shoichi likes to make jokes. Not great jokes. So, anyway. Gets a ball about another incident happened. The rest of the victim's family have been killed. Actually, some reason why these people are being targeted. So yeah, Ryo's coach comes looking in worried. Ryo tries to show him what's going on. After he locks the door, the screen briefly turns black and white, like something happened. It's initially mostly trying to trick the audience into thinking that Ryo killed his coach, but that's what's been happening. He's kind of a monster. But if you watch the intro, if you're from the series, you know it's not true. That was just a clever mislead. At least I think. I don't know. Anyway. He talks more with Vanessa. His justice can easily be disproven. On the ball, easily with a folding coin, and his photo being, well, basically photoshopped. So yeah, they say the test though, if the first coin in there was a fold coin. Well, he can test it out. He can't get a phone call. Oh, GP systems are now operational, improved, and non-knowns have been attacked the park. And uniformed officers protecting a little girl. So Hikawa quickly apologizes and makes haste. Shoichi already left earlier and is on his way. Hikawa tries to protect the officer. We're struggling with 2 on 1. But that's when Agito shows up. Seriously, does Agito really hate Hikawa or something? I'm not saying Shoichi hates him. I think more Agito, when he's Agito, seems like he has a different personality. Why is he against Hikawa? Why did he attack him, Paul? You think he was an enemy? But that's the whole point of the mystery. We want to know more hints of mystery. So after that, you end up splitting the monsters up. Hikawa eventually says, "Oh well, Agito does his finisher." And actually, last time the finisher didn't work because of the shell. This time, the attack was a lot stronger, damaging the shell and killing it. Both unknowns are gone. Yeah. Shoichi. That's right. Hikawa comes in asking if Agito is their enemy or is he an ally. Agito doesn't answer. By the way, when mentioned, Shoichi mentioned on his bike like Ichigo did. You know, back in the early on in the original series, for Ichigo to Henshin, he had to go wind power through his belt. It wasn't until Hayato Ichimonji that he had said Henshin. It actually became the phrase for Kamen going forward. So, yeah. But that was not a technicality, because the actor who played the character did not have a motorcycle license. So they couldn't have the film Henshin on there. So that's why they created the Henshin choreography, which became a big part of the franchise today. So yeah. Anyway, the episode ends on a cliffhanger with out comes what they're researching. Out of the demon strange comes a baby. Human-looking baby. Mysterious mark on his hand. Ending the episode. Ooh. I'm invested in Agito's story. You're hooked on the mystery. Like, we're not being made clear who the villains are. It's focused on the characters. It is focused on the character drama, the story. And that's okay. They don't need to have villains every time. There's not a group of villains, but you don't need to have a big group of villains all the time. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I can't remember what Marcus also said in this video about it. So I'm definitely excited. So thank you for watching. Enjoy my content. Please thumbs up button. I want to see more scripture. I'm going to the scripture. And what's your favorite episode, Agito? And currently. when you come watch with me, not through if you've not seen the series before. And we'll come, so I'll see you all later episodes 5 through 7. Speak more left. Sayonara.